Okay, so by now you should have your computer, your digital audio workstation, your headphones and/or monitors, and the decision to use software plugins wherever possible. So how do you actually pick the best software plugins for mixing when there are so many out there? Well, taking into account what I said in the last video, which is it's how you use it, and to a large degree they're all on quite an equal pegging in terms of sound quality. The two main criteria is 1, how much control do I have over the sound? So the more accurately you can go into detail and adjust the sound, the better, because that means you have more control over the output. But I also consider how easy to use the plugins are. So it's very important for me to be able to make the changes I want quickly and simply. I don't want to be getting caught up in loads of settings and menus because that can break the flow. Now I recommend at first you get to know your stock DAW plugins. That is to say the plugins that come shipped already with your DAW. They are definitely up to the task of making superb mixes. But if you do want a bit more control, and in some cases a bit more quality, here are some brands which I use and I recommend. FabFilter, I use their Pro Q equalizer a lot, and that's what I'll be using in this course. They also have other plugins that you can use, but the Pro Q is the one I use the most. Isotope, they have a great multi-band compressor and stereo spreading plugin. Now Sonox, these really are top quality plugins and they do cost a bit more, but the inflator and the limiter in particular are really good. And then Waves, which have a massive range of plugins, a couple of which I use, but they are popular with a lot of producers. Now, one thing not to look out for is who uses them. It doesn't matter who uses them, so don't just go and grab the next hot plugin because your favorite producer uses them. I recommend downloading some free trials if you want of certain plugins, but I do recommend mastering your stock plugins first, because all of the skills that you learn in those are applicable to any of the third-party plugins that you might buy in the future. Now I tend to mainly use stock plugins from Ableton Live because I know most of my students have them, or the equivalent in their DAW. So when I'm doing videos I know people can easily relate to them. But when I'm actually producing professional material for clients, I do use some third-party plugins like the FabFilter and Sonox, as I mentioned a minute ago. But really, as I said, the two things you should be looking out for is whether you've got lots of control over the audio, and 2, how easy you find to use it. And that's it on plugins. You don't need to spend hours trawling through to find the best ones. You don't need to install 50 different plugins on your computer. It's the same with soft synths as well. If you can master 1 or 2 plugins and know them inside out, you're going to be far better off than having 10 super premium plugins and not really knowing how to use them that well.